So once you got to high school, did you also play linebacker? I'm sure you played running back, but did you also play linebacker?
In high school, no, they just kept me at running back because I guess I was pretty good at the time. And then I would say 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, I played running back and linebacker in the middle school area, and then got to the 10th grade. Went to Tuscaloosa County High School.
Right.
That's when I started just playing only running back because I played on the varsity team, and we already had some big studs, some big time players. They in the 11th and 12th grade. I'm the little young guy, but I was the next running back. So I played running back, only running back or whatever at that time. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So when you got to Tuscaloosa County High School, did they already have a winning tradition before you got there?
Yeah. I always made it to the playoffs.
Okay.
And but we never won a championship when I was there. We only won one, I think, maybe, and that was in 1997. My brother, Kelvin McCants, he was on that 1997 team, and he won a championship there in high school. So, but for me, we always had a great team. I always made it to the playoffs, but some way, somehow, we would not make it to the championship, man. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you play any other sports while you were there?
Yeah. In middle school, I played basketball, football, and ran track.
Right.
All the way up until the 9th grade. Got to the 9th grade, I was just footballing and track. And because one of the coach, we had football in the summertime. We had practices, and but you also had the practices in the basketball. So it's like I had to choose either or. So I just chose football, and I started loving football more. And then one day I went to the basketball practice, and the coach at the high school, he just told me like, "Hey, David, I think that it's much better for you to just focus on football." And I was a little sad, like, come on, man, really? Basketball was my first love. I always loved basketball, and that's where I get my agility from.
Okay. Being
able to move laterally, and I just used that. Whatever I learned from basketball, I learned it. I just did it in football. But I always loved basketball, and then I'm not that tall anyway.
Right.
So, and the coach knew that, and so he was like, "Yeah, Dave, I think it's much better for you to play football, and I think you'll do your best future would be in football," which I didn't understand, but now I understand now.
Yeah.
So man. So I was a little sad, but I just focused on football and track. The track was great as well for the speed, technique of running or whatever, and also long jump. I used to love long jump and track. But man, I stopped playing basketball and only focused on football and track.
Okay.
In the 9th grade, from 9th grade to 12th.
All right. So when you were playing and running track in high school, what was your goal with sports? Like, did you have aspirations of going to the next level? And like, what was your mindset back then?
Nah, I would say for me, I was just in the moment.
Okay.
I just need to beat this guy in front of me, or I need to whoever beside me in track. I got to try to beat him, or I was much better in long jump, and at the time I had long jump like 24 and a half feet. I was like number 3 in the nation at one time, I high jumped indoor like 6'2", 6 feet 2 inches. And high jump as well, I was number 2 in the state. But for me, I was just living in the moment. My goal was to in football or track, just to get to the championship. Let's win it. That's all it was for me. That was my goal. That's what I seen. Just let's try to get better for the championship for that year. So
okay. So by the end of your, I guess maybe even your junior year, by junior senior year, how was recruiting for you? as far as getting recruited by
Yeah,
universities?
I had a few people. I got a few letters or whatever, but I really didn't know nothing about it. You know, it was so for me. Like I said before, I was just living in the moment. You know, and when I was in 11th grade, when I was a junior in high school, you know, I really didn't know too much about college really. So for me, I was just playing. You know, I see my brother. He won a championship, so I was trying to win. He won a championship in '97, so I was trying to win a championship in high school too, as well, because he did it. So, but for college at the time, I really wasn't thinking about college. I was just thinking about that moment because I never had no true guidance of trying to make it to the next level for college. You know, so for me, yeah, I was just living in the moment as well. So, yeah. But I had a few teams mailing me, like Ole Miss, Alabama a few times. Yeah.
I mean, those big SEC schools. So
Yeah. But they were just only mailing me, you know. So you know how it is when they say, if you know, we think you're a good player, you can come to one of the games.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, you know. So, yeah. But other than that, like, nah, not really. I did have, but the running back coach, at the time, Coach Flanagan. Yeah, my junior year, you know, he was like, David. No, but at the end of my junior year, he was like, David, don't you know you have a lot of people looking at you? At the time, I did not know. He's like, bro, you have a lot of letters, and I did not know nothing about the letters. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you got letters from different colleges that's interested in you. So I'm like, okay. So he took me to the office. Yeah, it was a shoebox. All those letters. It was so many letters from Ole Miss, from Tennessee, a few times, like I said, Alabama, Oregon, and a few more teams, Troy State. Yeah, I can't remember, but it was a lot. I'm like, I didn't know. So he was like, yeah, man, but you have to get your grades up, man. But at the time, it was end of my junior year.
right.
I never cared. For me, it was like I just did enough to make sure my grades was okay, because my mom just wanted me to, you know, graduate high school.
Right.
That's it. So that's all we all knew. You know, just graduate high school, you know, get you a job, and that's it. You know, and running back Coach Flanagan. He was like, you can do so much if you know, get your grades up. I'm like, oh shit, you know. But at the time, it wasn't too late, but it was like time was almost running out.
Right.
You know, being in 12th grade, you got 2 more semesters. It's like, you know, you having, you know, C average, D average.
Right.
No team is going to want you.
Right.
You know. And so one day, I would never forget it. The end of my senior year, the spring semester, I think it was around like February, late January, February. I get a call from Oregon. And he was a scout or whatever. He like, Dave, we seen your film. You're fast. You can be a great kickoff returner here. Also, we have Jeremiah Stewart. You know, he was the running back from played at Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
In the NFL a few years ago, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, you know, he was the #1 running back that year. He was like, yeah, you can play with Jeremiah Stewart. He is the #1 guy, but you can be that speedy guy, you know, that we need, because Jeremiah Stewart was he was the big back,
right,
you know, at the time. And I'm like, oh, this is great, like Oregon. And then at the time, this is when they had a lot of jerseys too. I'm like, they sponsored by Nike. I'm like, what? So they were like, only thing we need your transcripts, we need your reports or whatever about your grades and all that. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I sent them my transcript. They never called me back because my grades wasn't good enough, you know. So yeah, man. So I really didn't have the guidance, which is no problem. I'm not saying that, you know, my family did a bad job. They didn't. It just, where we came from, we didn't know. We just wanted to live and you know, be usually in survival mode. You know, just live the next day, and to, you know, find a job, make sure you be surrounded by the, you know, good people, and so, but yeah, man.
Okay.
I was.